How you doing? This is Fletch here. 1971, when I was 11 years old, my mom passed away. 3 weeks later, Tid won this. My pops. Stick around, I'll share the story with you. Yep, January 11th, 1971. It's 55, 56 years ago already. And that same month, January 27th, my dad threw a 300. It's bittersweet back then, of course. Still grieving, losing my mom. And that night, at that time, it was like the biggest prize in the small town of Hibbing. And it was, I remember the night. I remember getting a phone call at the house from I think one of the team members saying what happened. It was really cool. Couldn't wait for him to get home. Yeah, it was just a perfect night. At that time, the bowling alley was putting up a prize fund to the first person who got a 300 score. And 300 score means 12 strikes in one game. And they offered up $2,500, broken down in $1,000 grocery spree at a local grocery store, $1,000 from the shirt company, the shirts they actually wore, the company who manufactured them, and then $500 from the bowling alley itself. So when he did bowl it, he did win all that money. I remember us going to the grocery store for the very first time, and 2 grocery carts, mostly of meat, and I remember the total of $75. So you could get a lot of groceries back then. Now you probably can't get a grocery bag full at $75. He was telling us when he was bowling that first game and he had the first 7 strikes, and not real common when somebody gets 6, 7, 8 strikes in a row right off the bat. But when you're there, people tend who are bowling with you notice it. The surrounding teams, at that time, bowling was a big thing, and there was 24 teams basically. And then when he hit the 7th and 8th strike, people started watching, gathering around, little noise in the background. So of course, he said he got a little nervous, but he still was continually throwing good balls, good strikes, and good, no questions, no Brooklyn strikes where the ball across the headpin. Everything was right there. And he said when he got into that 10th frame, and he was really nervous, of course, and that he literally got that 10th strike, and almost fell, and basically almost fell over the foul line, which you cannot do. He at least stayed on that side of the foul line, and the place just erupted. And I mean, there's 100, 150 people in one big building, and I'm sure it was rather loud. It was a cool moment. Back then, 300s are rare, and they had to verify everything, the weight of the pins, the lane conditions. I think they still do that now, but it was a big thing. They'd do all those steps before it was official, and then once all the paperwork was drawn up, signed, got to the bowling people, and they said yes. Everything was good. So, besides winning the money, at that time, the Bowling Association gave you 3 choices. I believe it was a watch, a clock, and a ring. And he decided to go with the clock. And I don't have that anymore. Must have ended up, I don't know where it ended up at, but I don't have that to show you guys what that would look like. It was pretty unique. It was, I think I would have rather gone with that clock too when I had those 3 choices. I wanted to show you the actual bowling ball. Here it is, Brunswick, rubber, hard as a rock. And back then, when bowling, they would really, it was just throwing the ball straight down the alley. There was no curve or hooks back then, really. As you can see, 3 fingers, you bury your fingers all the holes, and yeah, there it is. Of course, I don't know what it was too. Even when I was bowling, everybody wore white shoes. I don't know what the reasoning was behind that. Of course, it seemed a little beige, but they were white at one time. And then single bowling bag. But yeah, this is pretty cool. Yeah, when back in the 70s and 80s, bowling was huge, nationwide. I know the small town I grew up in, bowling was a big thing. Curling was probably the second sport that was pretty big. But with bowling, you had 5-man or lady teams, and at the alley it had 24 lanes, so that meant 24 teams. And we usually bowled from 6:30 to 9. And back then there was also a second shift, not completely full, but I mean that ran from 9 to midnight. So popular, yes, bowling was real popular back then. It's definitely died away. I bowled up till, let's see, I think I quit 2000. And that's probably when, the reason I quit, it goes right back to my muscular dystrophy. I couldn't bend over. I was bending over and I'd almost fall over. So, it affected me and made my choice. Well, bowling's done for me. And it seems right after that, bowling kind of died. When I moved down here to the Twin Cities, that bowling alleys were dying away. They were closing up. And, I would assume there's more entertainment out there now. The big TVs nowadays, and, all the entertainment home. And bowling was a big commitment. It was 33 weeks out of a year. That's a big commitment. And back when I was young, I was doing probably almost 2 leagues a year. So that's, 2 nights out of a week, 33 weeks. That was a long time. And yeah, it was entertainment, reason to get out of the house and have a beer. Yeah, it was a good time. But yeah, I think people are just, they got too many opportunities for other entertainment, and then I just don't want, yeah, people just don't want to get out of the house anymore either. So that's my 2 cents. Yeah, I just wanted to share that story with you. His basically 15 minutes of fame. It was fun, brought memories back doing this. And yeah, again, I hope you enjoyed this. Again, subscribe, hit the like button if you like this. I'd appreciate it. Throw a comment in there, throw a story. I'd like to read them. And again, keep it simple. Thanks, and we'll see you the next time.